Welcome to Drunk on Social, the Symposium, where we help you stay ahead of social media trends, share the latest news, and highlight the strategies that are working to help you grow your business. Now let's join our hosts, Tristan and Jeff, in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, Drunk on Social, the Symposium, where Tristan and I give you the latest and greatest news on what is happening in the social media world. And truthfully, for the both of us, we love doing this because it keeps us super hip to the news and what's happening. And then we love sharing it with you because we get to talk through it. This is episode number 20, and we have a bunch of news today. Tristan, my friend, where do you want to start?
Dude, let's start with, first of all, I love our own show. Is that allowed to say? I love this show. This is like my favorite show.
I agree.
I love this show because I learned so much in the research. All right, let's start out with Facebook. Why? Because it's still the biggest and baddest, both in a good way and a bad way, right? Facebook announces $1 billion investment into new creator funding initiatives. And I mean, dude, I think it's like every other episode that we talk about how YouTube has done it right ever since they started rewarding the creator, right? And I'm just surprised that Facebook took so damn long to do this, because if you look at how YouTube does it, YouTube gives half of its revenue to the people who make its videos. Half, dude, half. Facebook, meanwhile, only gives $1 billion. It just sounds so messed up.
Gotta start somewhere.
I agree. This is from Facebook. I'm just going to read it to you. It says, from Facebook. You ready, Jeff? You ready for this one? All right, here we go. From artists to style experts and budding entertainers, creators drive so much of the passion and creativity we see across our apps. As we continue building creative tools like live audio rooms, I mean, they should put like hashtag copy of Clubhouse, but live audio rooms and Bulletin, as well as monetization products like stars and affiliate. We also want to reward creators, especially those who are just starting out, for creating content their communities love. That sounds like they twisted it to be something great and happy and that they're taking care of people. But I mean, both you and I know that they're kind of reacting to the growth that TikTok is having, right? It's pretty crazy. So I'm going to call bullshit on that one by Facebook and say that's super cool. Like, I want part of that billion. I'm sure you do, but I don't think they're executing it in the right manner. Like, just copy YouTube, man. Like, YouTube's done it so well, and even TikTok can learn from YouTube. But that's what I got on Facebook. I'm excited to hear what you got on Instagram.
Well, on that topic though, do you think that Facebook just has kind of the mentality that they're just too big and too dominant, that they don't have to give away as much as maybe a YouTube does?
I don't know, dude. Look at most visited websites in the world. YouTube's still number 2, right? Facebook's number 3 for most visited, not actual members. So I think if we can learn something here from the social outlets, is when you create content that can attract the current big audience that drives these social platforms more, I think that's key. And right now, TikTok is the one that's creating that content along with YouTube, right? And YouTube's going to continue to do it because they get paid so well. Like, literally, people do make millions off of YouTube, right? That's why there are YouTubers.
Yeah.
And you don't ever hear anybody saying, "Well, yeah, they're a Facebooker," right? Yeah, they're a YouTuber. You ask the little kids what they want to do. They say, I want to be a YouTuber, not a Facebooker, not a Snapchatter, not a Twitter or whatever that is.
I think some do want to be a TikToker.
But some of them are leaning more towards TikTok. I don't think I ever hear anybody say, I want to be an Instagrammer, right? But they do say, I want to be an Instagram influencer.
Influencer, yeah.
Yeah, different. YouTuber makes money. Everybody else doesn't.
Differently.
Right.
Different.
Right now.
In a different way. Yeah. Not just from eyeballs, but I think that's good. You know what? I look at that and say, you know what? Good. They need to get with the times because they will and are going to continue to become less relevant as the younger generations become more relevant in the world. And so Facebook needs to play the game.
Yeah, man. TikTok's growing super fast. I think Facebook's got a chance right here, but I honestly don't think this is the best. They need to dump way more money into this. Like if they want to get some of the best creators in the world out there using their platform to reinvigorate it with a younger audience, they've got to put in a lot more effort than this.
I agree.
All right. What you got for me?
Instagram. This is exciting as a content creator and somebody who posts at least 5 to 7 stories every single day. I was really excited about this news. Instagram stories drafts are now available to all users. So if you're a creator and you create, let's just say on TikTok or even Facebook, there's many times when I'll exit out and go back and do it later and it saves it as a draft, right? You've never been able to do that as a story. So you have to post it in the moment, no matter what you're doing, even if you get pulled to the side. And now when you go in to post a story and say you click the X to exit out, it's now going to ask you, do you want to save this as a draft? And so when you save it as a draft, then it will use, if you say yes, then it will say, this will be saved as a draft for 7 days. So it's not permanently saved, not like on TikTok where you can create it, it's just there forever, or even Instagram Reels. Actually, Instagram Reels don't last forever, by the way. TikToks do, it seems like. But my Reels have just disappeared. But this is cool. So now as a creator, and again, if you ever listen to me, and I'm telling you to post 5 to 7 a day, and you just want to do something in the quick moment, you want to go back later and edit it, maybe when you're laying in bed at night or whatever, like I do, this is awesome because it's going to create that opportunity. This is really cool. I'm really glad to see that Instagram is evolving, albeit slowly. I'm glad that they're evolving.
Dude, I think they're evolving too slow. Like
1,000,000%.
The fact that they're barely coming up with drafts is mind-boggling. Like, come on, guys. I need to save all my drafts and they can't disappear. I want them there forever, right? Like we have on TikTok.
Or warn me that they're there for 30 days or 6 months or whatever, so I know.
And can you make it easy to find? Because I've lost some of my drafts and then I don't find them for a few days. Or maybe it's just an old people problem, Jeff. I can't find them.
I mean, you know, it was, since we're speaking of evolution, I was speaking to a group today and I was talking about Instagram Reels. And I said, I don't like a lot of things about Reels as a comparison to TikTok, but I'm forced to use it because, you know, the platform wants you to use it. I wish they would increase their time limit to a minute. 30 seconds just isn't enough to create some of the good content that you want to put out there. And it's like, you see TikTok's gone to 3 minutes, at least go to a minute. I'm sure it's coming. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, dude, I agree. Well, hey, I want to go back to something because I missed it earlier on when we were talking about Facebook and the evolution of them paying creators. So I want to read this to you. First, I want you to guess because now you can't see this, which is good. So now you can really guess. Okay, here we go. It's guessing time for Jeff. All right. On the line here is a cookie for when I see you the next time. Even though you don't eat cookies.
So. Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Chocolate chip cookie. Are you okay with that?
My favorite.
Okay, here we go. YouTube has paid out how much money over the last 3 years to its content partners in 3 year span? 3 year span. I know it's a hard.
That's a very valuable cookie, evidently.
I know. Here we go.
I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna guess, and if I'm within $1 billion,
if you're within $1 billion, I'll buy you a cookie.
Okay, so I'm gonna say over 3 years, how many billions have they paid creators?
Yeah, creators, content. Yeah, content partners, creators.
6 billion.
All right, that was actually a really good guess. If I didn't see the number, I would have guessed somewhere around close to there. 30 billion.
Wow.
Yeah. Holy cow, right?
Jesus.
Insanity, man. And Facebook wants to pay $1 billion in 1 year. It's like a year and a half.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking. I was thinking they paid out $2 billion a year. So they're paying out $10 billion a year. 10x what Facebook is doing.
Yep, dude. And check this out. They say one of the reasons, and this is from inside Facebook, but one of the reasons that Facebook doesn't want to pay its creators, this is Mark Zuckerberg doesn't think Facebook content makers should get a cut of all of Facebook's revenue.
Wow. I mean, can you kick us in the balls a little bit harder? Why?
I don't know, man. I don't know. That's why I gravitate more towards YouTube, because first of all, they reward us. It's harder to break in, obviously, dude. It's so hard there. But TikTok, I mean, look what you and I have done in a span of just a year. Forget before, but the ability to grow and the ability to actually do business from it is something that's pretty amazing. Anyway, that's the whole philosophical, theoretical side of why Facebook doesn't want to pay creators. I thought you'd want to know, and good guess on that, by the way.
I mean, I don't know. So the only thing I can say about that is that I think that Zuckerberg probably looks at it and says, it's a different kind of platform. You're all making money by, running ads, which means we're paying you, you asshole.
That's right. Hold on, let me text him. Let me text him that.
I mean, I guess you could spin it any which way, but at the end of the day, I tried to spin it in his favor, and it ended up making me even more mad. So,
right? Yeah. All right. I got a Clubhouse update. I mean, Clubhouse just seems to kind of be dying a little bit, or finding its niche among fewer and fewer people.
I think this update is valid. It's no, that's the word I'm looking for. Relevant, maybe. Relevant matters. Yeah, it matters.
I think so, because now check this out. It's identifying with its crowd. And if you and I remember when you and I jumped in on Clubhouse Christmas week,
yep,
we were attracted to it because it was like-minded people, right? Business oriented, marketing, all higher level. And so Clubhouse now establishes an exclusive deal with TED, TED, TED Talks, to expand its content pool. And here's the news here. Beginning Monday, July 12th, TED will host a series of rooms via their official Clubhouse club. They'll commence the programming with thank you. Oh, here it is. It's called Thank Your Ass Off, a weekly room hosted by New York Times bestselling author and popular TED speaker, A.J. Jacobs. So, dude, I love where they're going with this, right? They're making this more higher level, and I think they're finding their niche. So the big crowds are going to fall off, but the potential of work, you know what, dude? It's becoming like LinkedIn. Clubhouse is like LinkedIn. There you go. Right? All business oriented type mindset, like evolution. Interesting, right? Interesting.
That's a good analogy. It's a good analogy. Yeah. I think most LinkedIners would probably disagree with you because they think it's super relevant.
Yeah, Clubhouse kind of sucky lately. So,
but you and I have been saying it for a long time, much to the chagrin and disagreement of people like Ed Stulak, that we think that it's long term, it's going to have some relevance. And I agree. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just high off my TikTok prediction from several years ago, but I think there's something to it. I just don't know what, and so I'm going to continue to pay attention to it, despite what my friend Ed says.
I agree with you, dude. I agree with you. I think once it starts finding its niche, and I think you're already seeing it, Clubhouse is discovering itself on its way to growth, and it's pivoting. We're seeing that that's what's going to happen. And remember when you and I talked about the very first time they changed their cover logo on the iPhone? It was like, and I said, dude, I bet you they're going to change it every month.
Yeah, and they have. Yeah.
And they did. That's exactly what they're doing with it. So I love that. It is, I think, heading towards what we think, right? More educational, more higher level, less everyday type of social media. So, all right. What you got for me on TikTok? What's the TikTok news?
I got two big pieces. Well, one big, well, I guess I wouldn't call it big news necessarily, but it's extremely interesting news that just continues to validate what we've talked about for a long time. But number one, two pieces. Number one, TikTok holds its lead as the most downloaded app once again in June. If you look at the standings, overall downloads, App Store downloads, Google Play downloads, TikTok wipes the board. Number two was Facebook on two of them. One of them was YouTube. And interestingly enough, third place is Instagram across the board.
Really?
Yeah, I think that is interesting. First of all, I'm surprised that Facebook's downloads are still that high, but that's validation that it's still very relevant.
Like Facebook, or like Messenger?
No, Messenger is listed in and of itself. It's number 5 in overall.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yep. Because this is the list that we go off of, where we talked about CapCut one time, and we talked about, remember, Josh, which is not on the list anymore. Evidently that fell off the list, but it's interesting. WhatsApp is still very high. It's number 4 across the board.
Whoa.
Yep. And then Messenger is 5 on 2 of the 3. But I think that, so again, it just goes to show you that if you're not getting on TikTok, you need to. But it also validates what we say all the time, that Instagram is the future of between Facebook and Instagram. I think you need to be building a brand on Instagram. Which leads me to something very interesting from a different article about TikTok that is irrelevant. There's some event coming. It's actually to be held on the 21st. That is going to be long gone after this comes out. So that's relevant. But what caught my eye was, and I'm just going to read this directly to you because this is very interesting. So it says, it's talking about, TikTok and the education, the evolution of the app. And it says that the app is now well on track to reach 1 billion users in 2021, putting it on pace with Instagram.
Ooh.
And while it's never likely to reach Facebook in terms of overall usage, as Facebook knows, winning over the youth is key to longevity in the space. Facebook surpassed MySpace the same way. Could that mean that TikTok will eventually become the platform superseding the social network? Facebook is likely too big to fail now in broader terms, but with respect to this aspect in pure platform usage and engagement, it is possible, listen up, it is possible that TikTok could eventually become the key platform of choice.
Ooh.
It's a big statement. This was actually a Twitter writer who wrote this. Somebody who's big on Twitter, but which is interesting, but it makes a lot of sense. This is exactly what Facebook did to overcome MySpace, because MySpace was for the quote unquote older people. Facebook was for the younger people. And now look what's happening. Facebook's has become MySpace.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't disagree with this. Even though I'm clearly biased, that's why I'm biased. I'm biased because I believe the same thing. I think TikTok's onto something. They've got it figured out. They're evolving at light speed compared to Instagram or Facebook. Mm-hmm. I tell you what, get on TikTok. Get on TikTok. Know how to use the platform and start creating shit tons of content. I'm telling you.
Dude, I'm down with that. I mean, I just posted it to Drunk on Social. I put TikTok becomes the first non-Facebook owned app to reach 3 billion installs.
Nice.
Dude, I didn't know that. Thank you for letting me know. I had to Google that as you were talking. That's crazy.
What?
That they had that many downloads.
Oh yeah.
Or installs. Yep. That's big. That's very big, dude. All right. You got any more news on TikTok?
No, we'll end that there because that was called a mic drop information.
That was good. That was very good. And I do agree with you. I think they're heading that way. And I'm glad you and I got started early.
Yes.
I'm so glad, dude. Although, here's something I didn't expect, buddy. Remember how you and I were originally talking, I think it was beginning of the year, where I said, hey, there's a window here, or it was late last year. There's a window here of becoming an influencer overnight, right? Mm-hmm. And I have to say that that window is still open in TikTok. I thought it was closed, but I was wrong because I posted an educational video last week, and I've had 5,000 followers in a week off of an educational video. And I was like, what?
Yep.
So, I'm going to take that back. I'm allowed to take things back. There you go. Backsies. All right.
That was the homeowner's number one mistake, right?
Yeah, that was that one, dude. And I'm surprised. So in a great way.
And that's the thing. That's the thing, people. Like, I know why most of you are there, because you're entertained by the content. But the reality is like educators in all types of industries. I mean, financial planners. There's some guys I watch doing financial planning. Golf. I watch golf tutorials. I mean, it spans all industry, and it's in an infancy phase. So become one of them. And like I always tell people, I'm like, use it as a way to create micro content. I mean, Tristan, you've seen this. Like, some of my reviews call me like the guy who comes up with short form content with a punch. Like, that's what people have said. Well, that's what I want to be known for, because then when people see that I posted something, they know I'm not going to just blabber on for 4 or 5 minutes.
Exactly.
I mean, figure that out, folks. Figure that out. Dude,
I love that. I love that. Good job on calling that out early on, buddy.
A lucky guess, I guess.
Whatever. That's my I don't believe you face. All right. Last thing I've got is YouTube, and I love YouTube. And like I said before, it's just hard to break into YouTube. There's a reason it pays a lot of money, but damn, it's hard to get into there. All right. YouTube adds automatic segmentation for clips. I love that, because now when you upload a video, YouTube's going to be like, hold on a second. It looks like we can segment this video into pieces, so people can find these little sections of your video a lot easier. They can fast forward. They can stay watching the video longer, because what they've noticed is that people love to skip to the good stuff, right? And so you can allow for this to be turned on by YouTube, or you can do it on your own. I suggest you let them do it originally. And also, improved segmentation is going to be great for SEO purposes, because now as soon as they segment it, you can be like, yeah, add more information about this specific segment, dude. And who owns SEO in the world we live in today? Google. That's right, baby. All right. And that's all I got for you, man. You had some good stuff.
This is great, man. It's interesting that some weeks are better than others in terms of the quality of content, just the quality of news, which we can't control. That's just what's happening in the world. So I love it. And here's what I want to say, because I've received messages from some of you listening right now, who have said, I really love this podcast. I love the content. I'm learning a lot. So do us a favor. When you're done with this episode, which it's almost done, I want you to stop what you're doing, go to your podcast app, and leave us a rating. That kind of stuff helps us out. It helps us get more ear balls. I don't know if that's a word, but more people, gets us in front of more people. And so do us a favor, leave us a rating. If you're on social, share it. Let people know that this is a great episode and here's why. Give it some context. We love that, and we appreciate that. And we thank you for listening. We thank you for subscribing. Until episode number 21, good night.
Or good morning.
Or whatever, wherever you're listening.
Wherever.
Thanks for listening to Drunk on Social, the Symposium. We are here to help you take your business to new levels through social media. Make sure to subscribe to get updates on new episodes and come join us on our Drunk on Social Facebook page. And as always, make sure you leave us a great review on your favorite podcast app. Feedback and likes are very much appreciated.